Okay, just want to remind you, just like we started out yesterday, how do you do this SaaS thing? You take imperfect action. You make a lot of mistakes. So I just want to ask you, are you taking imperfect action? You are because you're here today, right? So let's keep moving forward with imperfect action. Today, we're going to talk about attracting and acquiring new customers on autopilot. Now, I'm not going to go deep. Look, we just don't have the time to dive deep into these things. We're going to give you essentially the outline. Here's what you need to do. And then, you can figure it out from there. You can get coaching and so forth to really, a lot of the stuff is just available. You can find out how to do these things. I'm going to give you the structure on how to do these things. Now, a lot of people ask me, I get this question a lot about pricing. What should I price my stuff? How should I price my stuff? And so forth. And to be honest with you, it really depends on how you're going about your business, like what niche you have chosen, who your client is, and so forth. So I'm going to discuss like 3 different pricing models that you can use as frameworks to give you ideas about how you want to price your SaaS. Those models are the Ascension model, the anti-Goldilocks model, which we used for a while, and then the hybrid SaaS plus services model. All right, so here we go with that. The first thing is the Ascension model in your SaaS pricing. Let's just go with 3 plans because everyone's kind of used to the 3 plans. So let's go with 3. So plan number 1 is the core thing, right? The core things that get them in and get them results. That's the main thing you want to do. You want to get them in and get them results. Going back to yesterday, what was your offer? Your offer is going to get them some results, right? Plan number 2 is the next thing they need. Plan number 3 is the best thing. Keep in mind, everybody wants the best thing. So don't be afraid to price it accordingly. I've put together some examples for you here, right? So let's say this is the Ascension model, the core things that they need. The two-way texting, the web chat, automated reviews, GMB or GBP. What is it? GB? I don't know the damn acronym. Google messaging, Facebook messaging, email, unlimited campaigns, online scheduler, right? And these are things that will absolutely get them results. Like if they only do this, you're going to get them some results. Now, what's the next thing they might need? If you kind of look at column 1 or plan A is like the communication, plan B might be the marketing side. Now you've got the communication plus the marketing. So you get everything in plan A plus the newsletter builder, digital forms and surveys, social media posting. And man, I would list that out, scheduling to Facebook, to Instagram, to TikTok, to Google Business Profile, to LinkedIn. What's the next thing they might need? Well, the next thing they might need is, because they may already have a website that's good or a website that they're happy with. They don't really want to invest in a website. But if they do, the next thing is you get everything plus a mobile optimized site, Google Business Profile optimization, online directories, right? This is your Yext, and then, backlinks. So this is just an example. This isn't anything set in stone. If you have a niche where the website is the most needed thing, well, move that up. If that's going to really get you in the door, move that up a plan. Anyone have any questions or comments? Or Paul, do you want to make any comments on this before I move on to the next example?
I think the number one thing people will have a question about is, well, Dar, how do I know what's important to the industry? And when I hear that, typically I ask them, hey, did you put together a small beta and talk to the people in that industry? Or even if you don't have the bandwidth to do a beta, did you talk to at least 5 people and ask them what is the most important thing? So before we get to this point of creating plans, there's some research that goes behind it for you to understand the industry. So someone like Dar, when he's putting up two-way texting as one of the most important things, it's based on the industry needs. It's not just because of Dar's intuition or just a guess of what we think they want. You really want to base off of what the industry is actually demanding and talking to you about. Okay.
Absolutely. It goes back to yesterday, do your research. And then a little bit later on, we're going to talk about beta clients. So Paulson is right on the money. All right, next, we're going to talk about the anti-Goldilocks model. So this is interesting. This is how we did this with chirodominance. So plan one, the core things that get them the results. A lot of the chiropractors that we talked to already had chiropractic websites, right? There's a lot of competition out there. They already have a good site, but maybe they needed the two-way texting, the appointments, scheduling the reminders, things like that. So all those things go in plan one. Plan two. Now, if they need a website, plan two, and this is what we did a high-level site. Now, I will say this with all due respect to high level, the high level sites just didn't rank as well as the WordPress sites, right? They're fast to the naked eye, they're good, but we were unable to get them to rank as well. So we put a high level site in plan two. And so if they were a chiropractor in a small town, they didn't have much competition, whatever, we would have put them in plan two. But then in plan three would be a WordPress site hosted on high level. Well, here, let me show you. Sorry. So everything, and the core stuff in plan A. Plan B is everything plus a mobile optimized site. And by the way, let me just go back. I saw some people taking pictures. Feel free to take pictures if you want. At the end of the 4 days, anyone who has texted us slides, we will send you the slides. I forgot to put the number up here, but I'll get it before the end. So if you haven't texted us, you can just text slides. We're going to make sure everyone gets the slides so you can have these as a reference for your build. Okay, so option number two would be a mobile optimized site, right? That's a high level site, standard SEO. I forgot to mention, I don't have it here on these slides, but mention that there is an app. Now for chirodominance, we have the branded app. So we have a chirodominance app and I have that listed, but you have an app, you have the lead connector app. So be sure and put it in your plan A. All right, so plan B, or the last plan, because everyone wants the best, I would stress to the chiropractors, well, if you want a website, great. But if you want a website with visibility so people can actually find you, well, you really want our 10X plan, right? It's a WordPress site. It's got great speed and structure. It's hosted in your chirodominance hub, which is in high level. And then we're also going to optimize your Google business profile. We're going to do your online directories. We're going to do 300 backlinks. And when posed with the prospect of, well, do I just want a site to just have a site, or do I want a site that can actually get found? Well, then they go with the site that can get found. So it's the reason I call this the anti-Goldilocks model. Typically, people pick the plan in the middle. I purposely positioned it so they either pick, if they already have a great site, they just take the communication plan A, or they take the whole kit and caboodle on the big plan. And so most of our clients are on the $499 plan.
So real quick, Dar, just to clarify, The Ascension model that you're talking about it doesn't have a website. Is that right? It's just basically them climbing in from a smaller offer into a bigger offer and a bigger offer as they kind of mature in your ecosystem. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, like the first plan, the plan A, we'll just call it. These are for, when I get on first of all, I research everybody. A new lead comes in, I'm going to check them out. If I see that they already have a really good site, it's doing really well, I'm not fighting for that site. I'm just fighting to get them as a client. So I know that I can deliver wins for them if they take plan A, which is everything but a site. So I won't push a site. But if they have a site that does not look good, does not have great visibility, then I'm telling them, you need a site, but you really need a site with all these other things. The GMB optimization, I messed up, the online directories.
So just real quick, what's the difference between the Ascension model and the anti-Goldilocks?
Oh, the Ascension model is essentially giving them what they need next.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
So it's more of an idea of basing it off of their demand, not necessarily like a particular pricing strategy. It's based on, it's like a hybrid custom interaction.
Kind of. Some people just, they just need they just need the communication stuff. They don't really need the marketing stuff. Some people need that and the marketing. Some people need that and the marketing and the website. And you could flip around, though. You could make the website the second tier and the marketing stuff, the social media and stuff could be the third tier. It just depends on what your industry needs or wants based on, you talking to them.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Oops. Let's see. So next is the hybrid model. And this is where we are moving now. So we have built trust with our clients, right? We've a lot of agencies will come at this because they're existing agencies. I wasn't really much of an existing agency, so I kind of went right into SaaS and have built trust with SaaS. A lot of agencies or lead gen agencies are already doing a good job lead gen, so they're backing into the SaaS. Either way, here's what the hybrid model is. So you've got, for a hybrid model, I just have two plans and an add-on service, right? So we've got $299 for basically everything except the website.
Yeah,
The next plan.
Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
don't mean to interrupt you, Dar. For those of you that might be brand new to the high level world and software is absolutely new to you, when we say hybrid, it's a combination of a marketing agency service and a software technology package, right? So there's a lot of agencies that are already providing services. They don't necessarily want to just give up their entire service line. So what they do is integrate between a happy medium of a service and a software package and combine it together as one or two big packages.
Yeah, and here's something it's important to note. They are eventually going to cancel the service. I don't know when, but they're going to cancel. And for any damn reason, right? It could be, oh, we're just not getting the results we think we need to get. We're going to cancel. Or, man, we've gotten so much result. We have so many customers. Let's just turn this off for now because the service is quite a lot. You don't want them to turn off the SaaS. So it's very important that you position the SaaS as a core element to their business, like a utility, like their light bill. You can't go without electricity. You can't go without internet. Well, you can't go without communication with your prospects and your customers. You need to have the two-way texting. You need to be integrated with Google. You need to have a website. You need to have your online scheduler or your campaigns and such. So that's why SaaS is such a good business model. Like, you just have to have it. And so when you position it that way, you've got, in this example that I have shown, you can have kind of the communication SaaS, which is the $299, or you can have the communication plus the website visibility. Those are all still SaaS. And then, well, you want to throw some fuel on the fire and really accelerate things. We have these additional services that we're very good at. And whether you're doing them in-house or you do what we do, which is white label them, because I don't want to do the services. I want to keep my team small, right? But that's, you can say starting at $5.99, starting at $9.99, whatever it might be. Facebook ads, PPC, SEO, social media management. So this is just an example of how you incorporate both, but it's important that you keep them as two different line items. So when they cancel the service, and they will, you still keep the SaaS. If you bundle it all together as $1,000 and it's all included, when they cancel the $1,000, you don't want to be going back to them. Oh, but I need you to sign back up for you don't want to do that.
Yep.
Anything
Can I
to add
add
on that,
something
Paul?
here, Dar?
Yeah, of course.
So one of the things that we know at the agency service level is like, I think it's like 72 or 76% of services get canceled within the first 90 days. We don't care how great you are at servicing. It doesn't matter how amazing of a white glove experience you provide them. For whatever reason, marketing folks are the first one on the chopping block for them to either, budget themselves or figure out an alternative plan. Like, when at the end of the day, like, marketing people just get canceled out of the way as one of the first people on the chopping block. Now, the 72% is nowhere near SaaS. Like, SaaS percentage on churn is less than like 4% or 3%. So that means 97% or 96% of your customers should stay with you for more than 3 months. Matter of fact, they will stay with you at a longer term, sometimes even multiple years, if you educate them on the usage, if you provide them the right set of features, if you didn't overwhelm them with a bunch of crap. That doesn't matter. Like, you have to really be careful of how you get them integrated into the platform. But once they're in like a cruise control mode,
Mhm.
it's cash cow.
I remember, it's funny you say that. I was at a mastermind with Matt and a lot of the people on the SaaS Insiders. We have this group. We were in Costa Rica and we were talking about lifetime value of the clients. They were like, well, Dar, what's the lifetime value of your clients? I'm like, I don't know. He was like, why don't you know? I'm like, well, because not many of them quit. I don't know. How do you figure that out? We went into Stripe and like Stripe has everything. And it was like $17,000. Whoa. I had no idea, right? Because it's a small ticket, $299, $499. But because they never quit, like it's SaaS is pretty damn amazing. I have to tell you. All right, moving on. All right. By the way, was that good? I hope that helped people. Does anyone have any questions on that before we move on? I'm going to move a little slower today.
Yeah, we can do a Q&A towards the end of the
Okay.
session as well. So all of you that are posting questions in the Facebook streaming, I see like 40, 50 questions there. Continue putting your comments there, continue interacting. If you guys are enjoying this, give us like a 1 in the streaming comments. Let us know where you're checking in from. Dar's got a lot of practical things that we got to get through. So you're going to feel like we're going to actually move through this pretty quickly.
Got it.
But we want to make sure you know that we're going to field all your questions towards the end of the session. Go ahead.
Okay.
Authority positioning. What does this mean?
So, if you're going to go out and pitch your stuff to people, they're going to check you out. At least they should, right? Someone wants my business, I'm going to check them out. So it's important you position yourself as an authority. And the longer you're at it, the more of an authority you can position yourself. So these are some of the things that you should be doing, you should do to position yourself as the authority in your niche. So we're going to talk about your elevator pitch, right? When people say, hey, what do you do? We're going to talk about credibility. We're going to talk about your socials, and we're going to talk about your website. So your elevator pitch, it needs to be relational. So this is the easiest thing. I'm just going to give this to all of you. You all should use some version of this if you don't know where to get started. And I'm going to give credit to Matt DeCino on this, because we all get in our heads with all the stuff that High Level does. And, well, we do reviews, we do this, we do that, and so forth. You get this technobabble that just confuses the crap out of your, they get a glossy eye to these prospects. So you have to talk to them in a way that they understand what you do. Like they can go, oh yeah, they can have the epiphany that they need your SaaS. So you might approach someone and they say, hey, what do you do? You're like, when you need to go find something, like, you need this, you need that for your house, whatever. Like, how do you find it? Well, we search on Google, of course. Where do you and most people search for something? On Google, of course. And how do you decide which company to go with? Well, it's usually the company that's like on the first or second page that has the most reviews, and really the company who looks to be the most trustworthy and gets back to us, right? When you frame it like that, more so than it's really a framework rather than trying to memorize a script. So many people try to memorize a script and you trip all over yourself. When you just talk about what we all know, how do you search? Like there's your pitch. How do you search? Well, how do people search and how do people buy? And so what we do is we help companies like yours become more visible and more attractive online. And we make sure that you don't miss any calls. So when people are reaching out to you, that they all get engaged with, so they don't bounce to the next customer. And we're going to make sure that you look so attractive online that they would feel stupid not selecting you over the competition. Now, does that sound like, oh, that's high level? No, but what it is it's, how would I describe it? You're opening the door to high level through a channel that everybody understands. So what does that mean? You help them optimize their Google business profile, but you make sure that Google business profile is connected to high level, right? So let's see what I have next. Okay, so I'll keep talking about this a little bit more. Essentially, I'm going to kind of go off on a little rabbit hole here, but a lot of people get in their head about all the features of high level. You could simply do this. Tell people, okay, go download our app. right? We have this lead connector app. Go download it. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to start getting more phone calls. Just reply to them, answer those calls. You're going to start getting more text messages. I need you to reply to those. And you're going to start getting more reviews. I need you to reply to those as well. If you just stopped there, sign them up, integrated their Google and Facebook, and optimized their Google business profile and ran a review campaign, you could do that and make a killing on that could be just your SaaS business just right there. Because chances are when you get them ranked better, they're going to start seeing more traffic, and you're going to get credit for it. Even if they already have good traffic, when you connect their Google business profile to high level, all that attribution is going to come through the app. They're going to be like, man, I'm getting these calls on this app. This is amazing. I'm getting wow, that car, that DAR company, whatever the hell it is, it's amazing. Like, they're giving me all these reviews and apps. And so anyway,
one of the things that I want to add here real quick, Dar, is if any of you have been through our high-level SaaS Fast Track program, one of the things we teach in there is in your elevator pitch, you want to speak to the love language of the industry, right? So they may have terminologies in there that's kind of a common thing, right? And then in addition to that, you want to speak to the end result of the customer, right? So my first agency was in dental. My second agency was in automotive. So like in the automotive one, what we would do is do high ticket, like lift kits. If you're in Texas, you'll know why. For some odd reason, us Texans, we like putting trucks on, 5-foot big old lift kits, and all the guys and gals, they save their lunch money to go pay $8,000 to $10,000 to get these trucks all lifted, right? So to the automotive business owner, you want to create an elevator pitch that says, hey, like, how do people find out about you and that you offer lift kits? Like, how do they do that? And they'll start talking about, well, they look at stuff online, social media, and the only thing you have to do is like, well, we have a system that we built for the industry where we help you interact with folks that are specifically interested in lift kits in your area. And we do that with multiple platforms, multiple things where we just centralize all the leads in one place and automate a ton of that if you want to, or give it to you directly and you manually call everybody. So ultimately what we do is help you connect with customers that are specifically interested for offers that matter to you, right? So you can speak to the language of the industry. It may sound a little bit more techy, but as you do more research and get more familiar with their industry, like Dar said, you definitely need a version of this for your business, okay? And you want to go dialed into how the industry speaks to each other. And based on that, put together an interactive demonstration like Matt DeSano and Dar is talking about here.
All right. Love it. We are moving on. So we're going to talk about credibility now. You want as much credibility as possible. In the beginning, you're not going to have a lot of it, but you can continue to build on it. There is nothing better than testimonials from clients. And we're going to talk shortly about beta clients and about your agreement with beta clients to give you testimonials. But you want testimonials, even if it's from your mom or your brother or whoever. They don't have to say, hey, I'm Dar's mom and I think he does a great job, right? You can, don't fake stuff, right? Make sure it's someone that you've done something for, a friend that you've helped their business, but you want testimonials about your business. You want to get yourself, these are just examples. Like you can do all kinds of, these are things that I would do. You want to get yourself on podcasts as a guest, right? Or like a YouTube podcast as a guest, because then you have something that shows you as credible. You want to get to speak, right? I got to speak at high level. How amazing is that? You can believe I'm going to be putting that stuff out there so people can see that I was a speaker speaking about SaaS. 20,000 agencies, they only had a handful of speakers. Credibility. Start your own YouTube podcast. I have to just admit, I am way behind on this. I'm starting one now though, but I should have started one a long time ago. Now, and I'm not talking about for high level, even though I am, we'll talk about that later. It's going to be prolific GHL, but for chirodominance, right? I was and many of you will have this, fearful of not being perfect, right? Fearful of not being perfect. And that, I mean, that's the hell with that now. Like, I'm just going to imperfect action, take my own medicine. And we're starting Chiro Talk with Chiro Dominance. And all we're going to do is we're going to talk to chiropractors about what it takes to run a successful office. We're not going to talk about Chiro Dominance. We're going to talk about them. We're going to get ingratiated with them. But just by sharing the virtual stage with chiropractors, you will get credibility. And then as you do good work, they're naturally going to talk about the good work that you do, because there's a natural, what's it called? Reciprocity. I forget the word. Help me, Paulson. Your MBA.
Reciprocity.
That's it. Reciprocity.
Okay.
Right. You have someone on your podcast talking about how amazing their business is. They can't help but say how good you've done for them. Right. So start a podcast with your business and feature people on it. And if you can't get any people initially, just start a podcast and deliver value. Hey, here's what we do to get business owners with more reviews. Here's what we do to help business owners make sure that they don't miss any calls. You know what I mean? So you're delivering value in your niche space. It's going to take a while, but it's evergreen content. And then lastly, write a book. I'm writing a book, SaaS Expert Secrets. And there's just something about when you're an author that, you know, there's credibility there. So these are some examples, but
You don't have to questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, I know there's a ton of people in here. I mean, it's almost like 230 in here, another like 50, 60 people that are streaming, right? And I know there's a good amount of people that are in the beginning stages of SaaS. I mean, less than 5 customers or subscribers, right? Like, okay. Can you help us understand when is the right time to do what you're saying here when it comes to credibility? Like, is there a timeline that you recommend? Because like, if you're like, in my mind, if you're starting out, the most important thing is just getting the testimonials on the road.
Absolutely.
You can just get going. You don't need to hide behind a YouTube channel when you're trying to launch. So let's be clear about that. You don't need to waste 6 months writing a book when you have no clients because you're afraid of rejection or don't want to pick up the phone and dial or don't want to do Zoom calls because you don't like sales. You don't like the perception of sales. Like whatever that mindset that you have to overcome, I recommend figuring out the right timeline. Dar, can you speak to the timeline of when this should be done? Because I know this
absolutely
sounds great on paper.
And that's a great point to make. These are not things to be done in place of doing those other things. Not like, oh, I'm going to do a YouTube and get something built up before I start. No, you're prospecting, like you're doing all of this at the same time. You are taking imperfect action. You are making mistakes. The people that are going to get there first and fastest are the people that are going to fail first and fail fastest and fail often, right? So you want to get your beta clients, and we're going to talk about that in some upcoming slides. And from those beta clients, you're going to have an understanding and agreement with them about getting testimonials. That's the first thing you're going to do. But you can also use a prospecting method of having people on your podcast. Like just start it up. You just turn on the computer. Here you go. We're on Zoom. It doesn't have to be a fully amazing produced YouTube such and such that you have in your head. Just record a Zoom call, put it on your Facebook page. Anyway, and we're going to talk more about that. But the number one thing is prospecting, right? Positioning and prospecting. And then you do these things as you can fit them in. Obviously, you're not going to get to speak at events, but you can. Maybe your Chamber of Commerce has monthly business meetups, and you can go there and speak to a handful of 20, 30, 40 business owners about the importance of getting your, Google reviews and responding to people who reach out to you and make, things like that. So anyway, that's what I would say. And yeah, don't write it. I mean, yeah. Testimonials first.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know the exact timeline, but you'll just kind of know.
Yeah.
Look, if it's there, I saw one of Joel Kaplan's slides is great. I would love to copy it, but it's his deal, so we're not. But I'm going to reference and give him credit. he has on his whiteboard something about, are we doing things to move us towards a sale? Yes. Keep going. Are we doing things to move us towards a sale? No. Stop it and
Revamp it. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
go back to the other thing.
Another thing, Joel does a great job of. So Joel was one of our first guys that we brought on. And if you're familiar, one of the first virtual workshops that we did was 10K in 10 days. And it's literally one of the first ones that we did a beta test on, just like in perfect action, just went with the flow and figured out how it is. And voila, high level, we started our big YouTube channel, right? But one thing Joel always recommends is set appointments, close appointments. Nothing else matters.
Yep.
Your cover photo doesn't matter. The branding on your Instagram don't matter. Your lifestyle of all the stuff that you're showing doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is setting appointments, closing appointments.
Yeah.
And stay true to yourself. Like if you went to the call reporting, if I logged into your high level account, guys and gals, went to call reporting and looked at your phone number, how many phone calls happened this week? That's a serious question you have to ask to the mirror that you look at as a business owner. And if you cannot answer that, you're working on probably things that don't matter. But anyways, let me get off my horse.
Yeah, no, I can tell you. Here's another thing. Now that you've thought about this, the only thing we ever did at Kyra Dominance was get testimonials from clients. I've not done any of the other things. Those are other things that are like in process now, right? Oh, after we're well over 100 clients, right? So the testimonials on your initial beta clients to help you get your next group of clients, that's the most important things. Okay, moving on. Socials. So you need to dial in your social pages. Now, I'm telling you this, it's important. It's not that important, but yet it is. I say it's not that important because I've done this imperfectly and my socials are not great. They're not, but it helps you if you don't have, if your social pages don't reflect the professional group that you're going after, right? Like if you're a LARPer on the weekend and you got all your LARPing stuff and you're going after lawyers or something, it's probably not, I don't know. Anyway, you want to make sure that you dial in your social media pages, that, you've got a good header graphic, you've got a good call to action about what you do, right? Or a good statement about what you do and a call to action to give them a free lead magnet, right? And then you use the high level system to follow up with workflows. Think about it. A lot of you here have got my free roadmap to 100, right? So I recorded 30-minute roadmap to 100 and it's free, right? It's free in exchange for your information so that I can follow up with you. Do the same thing. Offer a free guide, something that's going to help the prospects in your niche. Have them join a group, right? Start a group that provides value. Again, you're going to hear this a lot. Provides value to your prospects, provide value to your community. But make sure when you start a group, here's another little tip. I don't have it on here, but I use GroupKit. When I started the Road to 100 Facebook group, I did not think it through well. I mean, I took imperfect action, but I didn't get anyone's contact information, right? I'm like, 1,000 people don't have their information. Now I'm like messaging them, hey, can you give me your, so I can send you something. So there's an app called GroupKit, and you can use GroupKit and connect it to your Facebook group. So if you create a Facebook group that brings people in, delivers value to them, make sure that the questions that that you ask have something to do with the result you're trying to get from them. For example, I'll give you a great example. This is full transparency. I don't even have this, but I'm going to just tell you. So now when someone comes to the Road to 100 Facebook group, my questions are, where are you with high level? Like, are you just getting started? Is this a side gig? Are you an experienced agency? Then I think one of the next questions is, what plan are you on? Are you on the basic plan? You're on the agency plan? You're on the pro plan? And then would you like information about coaching, right? So I get those answers. Those answers get imported into GroupKit. And then Group Kit imports that information into High Level. So then I can see all the people who have the basic plan or have the agency plan, and I can reach out to them, offer them an opportunity to use my affiliate link, offer them an opportunity to work together in coaching. You can do the exact same thing with your niche and what you're trying to do. Okay, let's see. Another thing is use Go High Level to build a link tree. And if you don't have one, I have one snapshot of it, and I'll just give it to the affiliate people who sign it. But it's just a funnel, right? That you can do anything with. You can provide value. You can get contact information. You can set up nurturing sequences, and you can use that high level link tree funnel in your socials to connect with people and deliver value. And then when you do have a conversation with, oh yeah, we did that with our software, right? Other people pay for Linktree, whatever it is per month. Just another one of the cool features we have in our software. The last thing is start a YouTube podcast, feature your niche clients. I would have done this earlier than I have. I don't want you to get distracted with it. But, when you're at 10, 20 clients and moving, I would work it into my daily or my weekly schedule. I wouldn't try to do it daily. But I would try to do it consistently. That way, when people look you up, they'll see that you have a YouTube podcast and you're interviewing people in the niche. One of the guys that I work who's in my coaching group, he's a brilliant guy, Daniel Nguyen. Well, he started a podcast, and it's Lead. What is it called? I don't know. I forget what the name. I should know the name of it, but it's a great model, right? So what he does is he has prospects on there. He reaches out to them. Hey, I'd like to interview you about your business. Feature we're featuring business in the local area. They're doing good. He gets them on the podcast. He gives them a stroke, right? Tell me about, this and why you're successful at that. And what are some of the things that a business like yours struggles with, right? Essentially, it is a demo call. Think of it like that. You are having a demo call as a podcast. And then afterwards, you can follow up with them about how you can help them. But you've just given them some status. Also, you can say, hey, do you know any other business owners who might like to be featured on our podcast? Because you're giving them status. They might have, a friend, and they're like, oh, yeah, my friend would love to get some status. Let me refer them over to you. Anything you want to add to that, Paulson?
Nothing too crazy. I think the most important thing you have to remember as a business when it comes to socials and prospecting is you have to own the audience, right? Like the reason why we do capture information about who's coming into the Facebook group or who's going into the funnel is most importantly for you to collect who your audience is, and you're not dependent on like a Facebook ad account to then retarget, right? You're not dependent on Google. You're not dependent on Apple. You're not dependent on, matter of fact, even High Level. You want to have your own prospecting list that anytime you want to turn on and say, hey, I have a deal, or I have an invitation, or I have an event going, you want to have that freedom to be able to go to that any given time. And that's the biggest asset in business, is the activation level of your audience today in 2022 when everything is online, right? So pay attention to that. Make sure you collect the information of who you interact with as you jump into their world and vice versa.
Absolutely. And, as Paulson mentioned on the slide before, don't do all these things at once, because you won't do the things that you need to be doing. But as in the road to 100, these are things to be done along the course of that journey that will help you accelerate getting those clients. All right, now we're going to talk about your site. Have a website, right? You can build a website in a day, and actually in a couple hours using High Level. You already have a High Level account. Use High Level's templates, build a site. If you don't know how to do it, spend a weekend and learn how to do it. It will be helpful for you to learn those, how to use the system. Now, I'm not saying if building websites is your offering that you have to be the person to do it. I'm not. I started that when we started Chiro Dominance. I was building them, but now there's someone on our team who builds them. I don't build them, right? But it would be good for you if you don't already have a site. Choose a template in High Level, build out a site, even if it's a one-page landing page in a funnel. So, because people are going to check you out and you need to have a site that looks professional. Now, with that said, the most important part of your site is the above the fold. It is what you are seeing before people start scrolling down. The most important aspect of your site, well, there's two things that work hand in hand. People have to feel like they know you, like you, and trust you, or they're not going to do anything. So you need to make sure they know you, like you, and trust you, and schedule a demo. That's what that site is there for. It is there to help schedule a demo. You want to have a call to action on the website, but you don't want too many words. You don't want it to be too busy. You want to be very concise. You want to use video at all possible. If you just have a website that's just a brochure, a flat brochure, that's what it is. It's a digital brochure. When you put video on there and people can see you interacting with them, telling them why it's important to work with you, what you're trying to do. I mean, think about it. It's a video world. When you're searching for things, what grabs your attention? It's video. So you want to use video. And then again, back to testimonials. You want to put testimonials on that site as quickly as possible once you get them from your beta clients. Paulson, you want to add anything to this?
The SaaS Fast Track program, guys and gals, it's free to you if you're on a pro plan. It's very minimal if you're not even on a plan to just get it from us, but that comes with the free funnel. Like you can just literally download it. It's got lorem ipsum, wordings on it. You can just change a few things within like 2 hours, 3 hours. You should be able to just go live with something basic. And Dar's going to probably agree with me on this, but idea is to create a minimum viable product that just gets you going. Like have
Correct.
a website, but that's not your website of the future, but just have something there as a business card online. Your socials, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get something up, minimum viable product, go, right? Like, don't overdo it. Like a lot of us marketers in general, we want to perfect every little aspect of it because one, we get biases. Second, we think our customers care. They just want the actual result that you're going to generate. They don't care how it's done. They ultimately just want the result. So the sites and funnels are all free in the program. Just jump in. If you're a high leveler, you get it for free. You don't need to go spend thousands of dollars on a website or waste time. But go ahead, Dar.
You bet. So let's talk about prospecting, demos, and sales on autopilots. This is my favorite thing. Well, it's one of these parts. The strategic partnership is my favorite thing. So this isn't every way you can get clients, but these are generally the ways most people get clients. And we're going to touch on each of those. First, we're going to talk about strategic partnerships. What I love about a strategic partnership is someone else is saying, man, Dar is really good. They do really good work. I would work with them. You should work with them, right? Rather than you saying, I do really good work. You should work with me. Trust me, I'm great, right? It's always better to have someone else saying you are great. So strategic partnerships, this is how I've done it. And it didn't happen the first time out of the, first time I tried, but the second time it did actually. So I went to a Cairo management group and I offered to deliver value to them for free to show them what we could do. And they were gracious. They were like, yeah, let's see what you got. So I delivered some value and they're like, yeah, this is amazing. Why don't you come to one of our events and show some people the stuff and we'll see where it goes. Well, I went to their event and delivered some value, but it turns out I didn't get too many clients. I was still pretty new and they were kind of tied in with some other organizations as well already that were paying them bigger affiliate fees. And so I didn't go too far, but I learned from that, made adjustments to my pitch, made adjustments to my offer, and then got in touch with another Cairo group. And that Cairo group allowed me to deliver free value to them. And I said, basically, here's what we'll do. We will, in fact, let me see. Yeah, I should be right there. All right, right here. Align yourselves with organizations, your niche, right, who have the attention of your avatar. So that's where we're at. Deliver free value, right, to demonstrate the results. And then, all right, so we're going to pick up right here. Incentivize them to promote you to their audience with an affiliate plan. So you all have the ability to do an affiliate plan, especially now that High Level has the affiliate piece feature inside the system. but you want to make sure that you don't like cut your feet off, right? Too many people are like, oh, I'll give you 20%, right? And then they want to give their discount because it's a group. They want, well, what's in it for our members? Like, can you give them a discount as well? So you don't want people to double dip. So you have to be aware of that. So for example, for our Chiro group, we set it up where we give them a small, it's nothing big. It's really more of a gesture. We give them a small affiliate piece. I think it's like 5%. And then we give their members a discount. So this way, they are promoting us to their members. Like, hey, Chiro Dominance is amazing. You should use them. And they know that by promoting us, they're going to get an affiliate fee if that office signs up. And then they're able to say, you know, kind of like, hey, and because you're with our management group, we've arranged that you get a discount at Chiro Dominance through us, right? So I've built that in where it's a win all the way around.
Yeah.
So
One of the things that I did in the dental space, so I had my agency from like 2015 all the way to like 19 when it comes to dental. And I started off doing strategic partnerships. Now, what I realized about my avatar in the dental world is they were all like extremely highly educated, very fairly successful in business. Like they're all running $1 million practice on average, and no affiliate money that I would have ever given them was gonna attract them. Like it was, I just had peanuts to like massive, businesses that they were running as a startup myself, right? So what I did was barter services. So I said, hey, Dr. Fraser, which was actually an actual doctor that was like a top player. And Dr. Fraser would be like, hey, Paulson, I'm happy to refer you to other dentists and other practitioners. Is there anything I can do with you in direct, like somehow? So I would get her placed on industry related podcasts and she would get publications. I would just basically get a PR company to basically feature her in places. I would throw in, services from my agency to her, and I would just literally kind of treat her as like a VIP, give her whatever she wants so she doesn't really have a marketing expense. Now, I was very careful of who I did this with because some folks will take advantage of that and not really bring you any business, and just have free marketing. But I essentially barter services with her where any group that she went to, anytime she got on stage, she plugged me in, right? Anytime she got on those podcasts, she's like, yeah, my marketing guy, Paulson, he rocks it, XYZ. And then all of a sudden, the audiences that she's moving towards will come to me as part of a result. I just couldn't give her even at 50% of affiliate commission on a $1,500 or $3,000 services was not really moving the needle for her, because in a day she's clearing like $10,000-$15,000 in services, right? So sometimes money is not the most attractive thing in a relationship. It's actually the level of service, the actual level of experience that you can provide for them. So, to Dar's point, this works in many industries. Like this is great, but in some avatars, you just gotta decide and figure out what do they really want, right? And then base your affiliate relationships from there.
yeah. And in this strategic partnership, I'm talking about strategic partnership with an organization who has the attention of your niche, like all the people in your niche. On a separate note, if depending on your niche and you want to create an affiliate plan for your actual clients, then you can position it like, hey, look, you refer anyone to me, I'm going to give you X% as long as they're here, and figure out how many people it takes for their business to be free. Like, look, you refer 4 people to me, your stuff is free. Like you refer any more people to me, like I'm paying you to do your marketing for you. So just some different things there. So, okay, now we're going to talk about ads. Ads is probably the fastest way to go. Right? You can just get ads up and be running this week, right? But you need to test your offer on the platform that your avatar is on. If your avatar is not on LinkedIn, don't run ads to LinkedIn, right? And if you're not great at ads, find someone who is and get them to run them for you. Ads is basically, if you have more money than time, run ads. If you have more time than money, do not run ads. But when you do run ads, you want to fail fast. This is a feedback loop. You want to fail fast, adjust, and continue to scale that. Frankly, scale as quickly as you can handle it, because what's your budget? If you're, once you get it dialed in, if you're putting $1 in and you're getting even $1.25 back, if you're getting anything more back, then you are, you should have no budget, right? I'm putting $1,000 in, I'm getting 1,500 back. I'm going to continue to do that, and scale that up.
Yeah. Also remember, guys, when you're running ads for yourself, do not look at this as if you're running ads for your marketing agency. It's totally different when you're running ads for your software company, right? Because you may feel a little hesitant when your acquisition cost is really high when it comes to your SaaS software, because it has too many things and it's not as simple of an offer it is. But don't be afraid to pay a little bit more to get SaaS customers, because your churn is so low. In the long run, you win out. Where agency owners, our mentality is like, oh man, I got 2 months, 3 months to impress them, wow them, get them actually as a customer. And you're paying this huge dollar to barely make anything back. And plus you have expenses, but that's not the mentality when you think of it as a SaaSpreneur. Okay.
Yep. And I think of my ads person as like my financial advisor. The market is going up and down. And I'm like, oh, my wife's like, oh, we just lost, do you know how much we just lost on the kids' college? Same, like, I'm not going to look at it. We're over time, right? Same thing. The ads like this, I don't want that in my headspace. I'm like, all right, I trust you. As long as someone's good is doing it, ride that out. All right, moving on. Organic prospecting. So again, this is, if I were starting all over, I want to feature them, right? I want to feature them on a business podcast of some point, whether it's just you're doing Zoom calls like a demo, but you frame it as a series, right? We're doing a series where, and you get them on, and you can put it in your Facebook group. Like, this doesn't have to be magic, but you're giving people status by having them as a guest. And so everything else that's below this, I would draw back to giving them status. So I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, know about list scraping, D7, Lead Finder, things like that, and emailing people. I'm not going to get into the doldrums of that because frankly, I hate it. But this is where you can get lists of people and invite them on your podcast, or invite them on your series to interview them about their business. Again, giving them status. Same thing with messaging people on social media. I wouldn't message them about, hey, I can do this or that or so forth. I want to message them about giving them status. Hey, here's, we have a podcast, we have a series highlighting businesses like yours about XYZ, and would love to know if you'd have time to come on and we can feature you. And from there, then, it's a much easier icebreaker when you were cold reaching people. Same thing with Facebook pages and Facebook groups. LinkedIn, there's a great tool called Ulink where you can automate. You can use the features of LinkedIn. You can use the LinkedIn features and Ulink in combination to just have it automatically finding people for you. That's a whole nother cool class on that. That then you can be messaging out to have them on your podcast or on your series about your business. And this is how I would do organic processing if I were starting all over. And then warm calling, not cold calling, because once you've reached out to every one of these people about featuring them, giving them status, you want to follow up with a phone call, right? You want to follow up on a phone call to everybody. At least, again, that's what I would do, because it's the personal touch in a non-personal world where everyone's doing everything digitally. Paulson, you have anything to add to this?
I think I've done a masterclass on cold emailing in the past. So if you guys want to take a look at it, we've brought in a couple of experts that give us insights on that as well. Even with my agencies, like when it comes to volume, you need to understand how much volume does it take for inbound warm leads or calling to actually happen. So any given industry, you want to make sure you're pushing out at least 1,000 to 1,500 emails per day per prospector. That will typically generate about 8 to 9 bare minimum non-qualified leads. Okay. Then from those 8 to 9 people, you can call all of them as quick as you can. And maybe out of that, 4 to 5 people are probably qualified or they are at least responding to you. So let me say that again. 1,000 emails outbound to the right list, to the right industry with the reasonable offer is going to generate probably close to 8 to 9, maybe 10 leads a day, right? And then from there, about 4 to 5 is what you're going to actually be able to reach, interact with them. So for every 1,000, you can probably get a trial going or a some kind of an interaction going. But why is that important? It's important because when it comes to acquisition, about 60% of your acquisition is going to come from all the different organic efforts you have. Paid advertising, no matter how much you do, it's going to have about 40% of your acquisition. Okay. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure you understand the volume level that it takes for you to really have the right amount of pipeline flow for a potential sales team to be built. Does that make sense?
It's daunting. Just have someone run ads for you.
Yeah, you still got to do sales.
Just do a strategic partnership. All right.
Exactly.
Moving on. So demos. All right. I want to stress to don't take shortcuts here. Do not take shortcuts. I did at least 50. Well, I did more than 50 demos. I would say for our first 50 clients or so, I did all the demos. And here's why you need to do this. You will get better. Your delivery will get better. Your confidence will improve. And importantly, you will hear feedback from prospects and clients that help you adjust your demo. I can assure you my demo at client 50 was way different than my demo at client 5, right? So this is something I'm just telling you, don't shortcut it. Take those demos, fail, make mistakes, learn, get better. At about 50-ish clients, then we went ahead and did an automated demo, but it was because I got really good at it and made it an automated on-demand demo. But even after that, even after someone watches a demo, we still follow up with them and have a one-to-one conversation. Make sure that they understand everything. Make sure they have any questions, how
But
things work. And so forth.
Dar, I can just shoot a Loom video or some kind of a 3-minute video and slap it on my funnel and hope all these people are going to line up tomorrow. What do you think of that? You know, the VSL stuff. Like, why can't I do that even before I have a customer?
I mean, if you have loads of money, you run a lot of ads, you'll just have a much lower conversion rate. You know, you'll still get some people, but anyway, there's something about dealing with people, interacting with people, that even if you mess up, there's a graciousness there that you still have a better chance of getting that sale than if it's all just automated. Let's see, on-demand demo after you get their info. Okay, so when you do move to an on-demand demo, they don't get to watch the demo until they put their info in, like standard marketing stuff. Make sure you do that using high level. And then you want to follow up fast and consistently with value and credibility. Anything else?
And I don't know if you do this, Dar, but do you interject the grow method that you have, your customer, your branded customer journey in your demo? Is your demo like a Zoom session? Like, what does that look like? I'm just seeing a couple of the questions that are coming in.
Sure. Yeah, for the local businesses, it is. Yeah, for the chiropractors, it's different because, as we talked yesterday about that vertical niche and us really understanding the needs of the chiropractor, they expect all that grow method stuff, right? They want to be more visible. They want reviews. They want all that stuff. If there are other things specific to their niche that they want, I make sure I touch on those things through the demo as well.
Thank you. Let's keep going. So follow up fast. Is that automated or is that something you're doing?
What is that? Someone's drawing on the screen. That's crazy.
I know. At least they're interacting, you know.
That's right. Someone's kids in the background just drawing away. Okay.
Crayola.
Yeah. Okay. No, follow up fast is obviously we're using automations because nothing beats automations. I mean, I could be on this call with you right now and someone's reaching out to us. So we use the automations to follow up with them. and then notifications to ourselves that someone watched the demo, and then we're getting on the phone with them. Okay, sales. Let me see. I think this is the last thing. Okay, so sales, beta clients. If you are just starting out, you need beta clients. Here's what a beta client does for you. It gives you the permission to learn, adjust, and make mistakes, right? The more transparent you are with people, I mean, it may take you longer to make the sale, but you have a better chance of keeping them while you make the sale. If you try to position yourself as the expert right out of the gate, and you're not, you're going to make mistakes. You might look foolish. So as a beta client, you know, I mean, you don't have to tell people, hey, I'm just getting started, right? But hey, we're trying a new system here, and with what we do at our company, and we're looking for some clients that would give us real world feedback on it. And so, you know, that way we can make an adjustment to make it perfect for everyone. But for the people who are going to beta this, we're going to offer you an incentive. Now, whatever that incentive is, let me just give you some examples. You can give them a discount. You can, but I would not give it to them for free. And also, I would not do that for an extended period of time. In the beginning, I was so eager to get clients. I offered stuff for free and offered stuff at a cheap price for indefinite. Some of those clients today, because I'm a man of my word, are paying so cheap, and they're like, hey, man, can you block off my calendar? I'm going to be gone. I'm like, no, you can block off your calendar. I'm not doing it all for you. Like, you have the, like, you know, they're paying so cheap. Anyway, and the thing is they never asked for it for that cheap for life. So don't give something people are not asking for. Give it to them for like 3 months. Hey, we're going to give it to you at half price for the next 3 months or for the next 6 months or whatever. Time frame it. So that way, when you have a few hundred clients and client who's only paying you $99 a month wants something, you're not like, oh, you don't want to have a bad attitude towards them because they're only paying you something cheap, because you're the person who framed that in the beginning. So also, it's important with beta clients that they understand, in addition to you getting this discount and giving us feedback, what I'm going to need from you is a video testimonial about the positive things that the software has done for you. It's very important. It's a part of the bargain. Okay, so sell the results, not the features. Too many people sell the features. You want to sell you're going to have more visibility. You're going to get more customers. You're going to get more reviews, which is going to give you more visibility, more customers. We're going to make communicating with them so much easier. You know, those calls that you miss when you're out on the job site and then they bounce to your competition. Well, we're going to set up automations for you so you don't miss those calls and they engage with those. Like, you want to sell the results, not the features. You must be consistent. 0 to 1. Look, I took this right from Joel Kaplan's slide, because it's absolutely true. And he wrote it up. 0 to 1 is 0.000000001, right? It's going to take a long time to get your first one. But 0 to 10, once you've done that and you've put in the work, the next 10 comes so much easier. And the next 10 or 20 come easier after that. As long as, and this is so important, as long as your onboarding is successful and good, and you provide a great experience and get them to adopt usage of the software. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So the last thing you want to do is to put all this work in, you know, positioning yourself as an authority, doing the work, making the calls, doing the prospecting, getting the clients, and then don't provide a good experience for them. And then you can't build on top of that. So we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. I think, here's another thing. Credit to Alex Slinsky here. Too many of us are still kind of timid. And you know, when we're talking to someone, because we want the sale, like you want the sale, if you really feel like you can help someone, then tell them they should work with you. Don't say, hey, so you have to the end of the demo. So what do you think? No, not what do you think? If you really feel like you can help them, you've gone and you've looked at what they've got online and you know it's crap and you know you can improve it, you need to tell them, look, Johnny, your business is XYZ, blah, 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 blah. You really need to do this. Doing this is going to be good for your business. You're going to get a return on this, and we need to be working together. So, you know, I just want to be, that was an aha with me when Alex said that, because my whole life, as in a subservatory manner, present something to someone. Hey, what do you think? But no, don't ask them what they think. Tell them they need to be working with you if you honestly feel like you can help them. Okay, so some target plans. Since you're going to get these slides, these are just some targets for you, what we talked about. Plans and pricings. You need to create your plans and you need to decide on your pricing. Remember, you can always adjust it later. You just need to make a decision. Don't waffle on this for weeks. Make a decision and go with it. I've changed my pricing multiple times. Next thing, authority. Craft your elevator pitch. Dial in your socials. I don't mean spend weeks on them, but just take the cat videos off of there. Dial in your site. Use the high-level templates. And create a credibility plan that makes sense for you, that works into your schedule behind prospecting. And then demos, right? Demos and sales. Craft and practice your demo. I did mine on a Zoom call by myself a lot. Stood in front of the camera like I was talking to someone, just went through it and recorded it. And then I would watch it back at 2 times speed and go, oh, yeah, that. Oh, yeah, that. Right? Practice. You don't have to practice in the mirror anymore. You have a Zoom, practice, record it, watch it back. Determine your beta client offering. Are you going to have, and this goes back to your niche and what your offer is. So what are your beta clients going to get? Are they going to get a half price discount? Are they going to get it for 3 months? Are they going to get access to whatever? So determine what that is. Create a consistent daily sales action plan. You can only sell to the number of people that know you exist. Again, freaking Matt DeSeno. He's brilliant. I get so many things from him. This is true. You can only sell to the number of people that know you exist. So make sure people know you exist. Create a daily plan of action for sales. And then, get started. Mess it up. The people who are going to win fastest are the people who are going to get started making mistakes the fastest, right? The people who are going to fail the most, fail the fastest, are the ones who are going to have success the fastest. This is from yesterday, but I just thought it was worth repeating. The SaaS formula delivers. It's extremely low cost to entry and operate. No additional cost to add infinite customers. It is automated and scalable. You can work from anywhere. It is very high profit. So I just want to remind you, I know that we've given you a lot yesterday and today, and there's more coming. But if you treat this like a business, you commit to it, it delivers for you. It doesn't take that long to really learn what you need to learn to deliver value to people. And then this is just my no excuses slides. If I did it, this dummy right here, while having a full-time job and saving my motorcycle business and trying to do the Cairo gig and taking courses, if I did it with my ADHD, you can do it. So, tomorrow,
before we go any further, just real quick, I want to get a good feel for the room. How many of you have already launched your SaaS and you have at least 10 customers? Like, give me a 1 in the streaming if you have already launched your SaaS completely and you have at least 10 customers. Let me see a couple of people coming in here. I see the streaming. Let me refresh. And I want to address those of you that have already launched and you're not really starting out fresh, right? One thing I would recommend is don't overbuild your plan for the future state, right? What I mean by that is like the onboarding sessions you had from 0 to 10, right? It's not going to take you from 10 to 50. The ones that you build and all these, bells and whistles and infrastructure you had that got you all the way to 50 customers, it's going to be all irrelevant for you to go from 50 to 100. As soon as you get to 100, all those SOPs, the same team, potentially even, you may not even need anymore. And that same structure, you may not need anymore. And what you have from 100 to like 250 or even 300 or 350, like, don't overbuild your SOPs. Don't overplan. Just think of this week, and that's all that matters. Think of maybe 2 weeks. A lot of us marketers and agency owners, we have to have this magnificent transition and migration plan. Another big corporate type thinking of like, hey, like as if you're KPMG or Anderson that comes in and you have this 500 employee, plan to migrate into December. Like, you don't need any of that. All you need to do is just focus on the next 10 days of how you going to onboard, what can you improve, and just really just get 1% better. Like, nothing else matters for that day, just 1%. At the end of the month, you'll be 30% better. Over the year, you'll be 300% better, right? Dar, can you share a little bit about the transitions you went through? Like, I assume the road to 100 for you saw the different changes in your business, the different infrastructures you have. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about all these things tomorrow as well, but share a little bit about,
Sure.
that over planning, a lot of mistakes happen.
A lot of mistakes happen, and there was no one was teaching SaaS, right? When there wasn't even a SaaS configurator. You all have no idea how, I'm sure you do have an idea how lucky you are that all these things are already in place. The SaaS system, the SaaS Pro plan does so much for you that we had to like work around and have workarounds. It does it all for you. It's amazing. And then there was no SaaS coaching, right? We had to figure it out, make mistakes. I think the first year we had like 25 clients. Now, again, I still have another struggling business. I'm still taking, now I'm not taking SaaS courses, but I'm taking like, how to run Facebook ads courses, how to, all kinds of courses to just, what do I need here? And I had a full-time job. So it took me a while to, I think, like I said, 25 clients my first year. And then once we figured out a strategic partnership alliance and also onboard, like I was building everyone's website. We were building them in ClickFunnels. It was horrible. Because I didn't really know how to build websites. I'm like, well, I'll just put one page, then I'll do another page in the funnel. That'll be page 2 on the website. I'll do another page. Like I really had to learn, I've come a long way, I'm telling you. But once we went to this Cairo conference and got people to endorse us, and we got like over the next month, like 30 clients, it was like, oh my God, how do we do this? How do we build all these, right? I was like, oh my God, it was awful. And it was great, but like it took us a few months to onboard all of them. People don't want to wait a few months to get on, like they give you their money, like let's get it set up and rolling in a week, all of it, website, everything. So we learned at that point, we need to change our onboarding. And we put different automations in place. We had a website builder made out of custom values. So people could put their information in a form, their logo, their hex codes, their bio, their pictures, all that, and they put it in a form, hit submit it, and poof, website's built. And then my team would just go in and make adjustments. And so the next event we went to, I think we got like 40 clients, and it was the one that's kind of been featured where we talked to Robin, and Robin gave us this is another time we talked to Robin. And he was like, why don't you do an annual plan? I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, offer him a discount, give him an annual plan. So like right there in the Dallas office, we're like, okay, we'll figure it out. We went to the Cairo event, signed up 40 people, walked home with like $65,000 in 2 days. I was like, wow. And then we had everyone onboarded in a week, right? Just like, because we learned from our previous onboarding, and we've just gotten better and better and better and better. And even right now, there's some really cool new developments happening at Cairo Dominance where we're about to blow it up and, try to get to 1,000 clients next year. And it's going to require a different set, different structures in place. And we're changing all those things up right now to, account for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, agency owners think quite often you can just load up a bunch of SOPs in Asana and click up and you're going to be okay. Like, honestly, in the SaaS world, your business changes so fast, so rapidly based on new things that are being added, especially features. Like at high level, we don't even care for SOPs. Why? Because every other day, Sean is coming at you live.
He is, man. I cannot keep up with that, man.
That's our world, right? How much SOPs can you really build when the team's rolling out like 20 features every other week? Like, so we're in the, mentality of customers kind of have to think the same. You're going to have new things being put into place based on what we do, and don't overdo the SOPs and things like that. Dar, let's do this. Let's do it. I know you're going to talk about tomorrow,
Yep.
I know we had a special offer that we had talked about yesterday. We can review, but before
Yep.
we do that, do you want to do a quick
Let's do it.
Q&A?
Q&A. Well, I can
Okay,
just look.
so
So while you're getting someone on the Q&A, I'll just
okay,
like, come on, tomorrow's right here. Efficient
okay, go for
onboarding
it.
that we just kind of talked about. We're going to teach your customers to fish rather than fishing for them. That is hugely important. And then customer training, support, and check-ins. Like, you don't want to miss it. You absolutely don't want to miss it. It's crucial. All right, now Q. There we go.
Yeah. So raise your hands if you're inside the Zoom. Raise your hands with the little reactions emoji, and I'll just go in order, and we'll go through maybe. So it's 3:18 right now. I like to end in the next 15-20 minutes if we can.
Okay.
We go a little longer because these are bigger workshops that we do. There's a lot of content to
By
go
the way,
through.
I dialed in the offer a little bit better.
Okay.
Let's see if I can take this off without messing
I
up
need
my
to get
head.
me a Highly t-shirt, man. That reminds me.
Man, you like this? I got my
It looks-
Highly
it looks
t-shirt.
cool, man.
It got hot in here. You got the heater on. It's snowing in Oklahoma.
Oh
I had
man.
to- all right.
Let's go with John. John, how are you? John and Sandra. Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah,
with
yeah,
you
I'm doing.
first.
The first question I have is, I know he's going to talk about the offers again because he said he's got more. Is a lot of the stuff is where I'm struggling with. I have one client. It's a a good friend of mine. He, being in the software for a couple of years with our old business that me and my wife had. That's when we got introduced to software about a couple of years ago, and we know it pretty good. We not so much on the SaaS because we weren't involved in SaaS. We were a client to our marketing company. So what my question is with this offer, Dar, that you're offering, are there going to be like any websites or any workflows or anything to help me get started in the sense of?
Oh, you mean my offer to you?
Yes, on the affiliate
Yeah.
side. Sorry.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
on that note, Dar, if as you answer it, just let's talk about the offer since
Yeah, let's
that kind
see.
of covers that.
I'll put it right here.
Yeah.
So essentially, this is the basis of it, and it is a lot of stuff. It's the thing, as I coach other people, learning what people need, what people don't need. This is all the stuff that you're going to need. So you're going to get the SaaS agency course, right? And the course includes those, and the snapshot includes the things you're talking about. Now, I'm not writing all your emails for you. There are templates in there, but there's workflows and there's follow-ups and there's appointment setting and clients coming in and demos and pipelines and all that stuff is in there, with some example emails written, but then you need to, make it your own. So all that stuff is essentially the skeletal structure of it is all in there and it all works. There's the white label customer onboarding and training members area snapshot, which is being built out right now. As I mentioned yesterday, we're redoing it for Chirodominance. Dominance. I thought, well, since I'm redoing it for Chirodominance, Dominance, I might as well do a white label version of it for my coaching group. And so you're going to get that as well with all the stuff that goes along with that. There's the customer wins snapshot, which, is it's just exactly that. It's giving your customers wins, different kind of review campaigns. There's a couple different review campaigns in there. There's database reactivations. There's the different chat connections. So that's a great snapshot as well. Then there's the Google Business Guide or Google Business Profile Optimization Guide. That was put together based on what we do for our chiropractors that get them ranked, plus like 3 or 4 other GMB courses that I took and other people that are close to me took, and perusing over all that knowledge and making sure we got the best of the best information in there so you can really optimize someone's Google business profile so that when you connect that to high level and that attribution starts coming in with more text and more phone calls, like you're the hero. Then there's going to be weekly coaching. So there's a private Facebook group that will have weekly coaching. And so when you do have questions, you can come on to the weekly group coaching and ask those questions. And then for there's the SaaS Expert Secrets books that's being written. Hope to have it done before the end of the year. And you'll have advanced access to that. A little status for you, right? And then there's personal one-on-one SaaS business intensive with me for the first 20 people who do this, but only for the first 20 people, because that's 20 hours of my time. Then,
100%. Yeah, I was like I said, I was trying to get it through on last week. I know I had to cancel redo it on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think it'll come through for you okay.
Yep.
It said I was signed up, but I know you're working on getting me all the information. What my main question is what I've been struggling with is when, you know, when you sign up, you get started. I understand the software itself,
Mhm.
but getting everything to work so I can launch. Having the, like you said, some of the workflows that you mentioned,
Yeah.
the customer journey, right? They can find my website. They can go
True.
on, do all the things that need to be done. Is that part of that affiliate thing that you're
Yeah. Well, I
doing?
mean, there's weekly coaching. So if it's not in the course, you ask those questions on the
Okay.
coaching as I find out things that people are asking for or need. If it's not in the course, that'll get put in the course. It's a constantly evolving organism, so to speak. But yeah.
Awesome. And the other, my last question
Mhm.
is going through a lot of this stuff. I've looked at so many different frameworks of offers,
Mhm.
and Matt actually has a really good one. But the problem is I can't understand what they're selling in the offer.
Yeah.
The verbiage
So
they use this verbiage. It's almost like, okay, well, so what exactly am I going to be
got it.
delivering?
Yeah. So I can just tell you in respect to other people's times here, because since a lot of people have their hands up, we can
Yep.
cover
Sorry.
those and we can cover that in the coaching, right? So that's
Perfect. Yep.
and make sure that you get answers to that and putting your offer together and so forth. But
Okay.
yeah,
Perfect. Hey, thanks
sure.
again, Darren.
So-
Man.
You bet.
Absolutely, guys. So let's go with Fahad Ayub. Please keep your question to one, maybe max two, so we can get through as many people as we possibly can.
By the way, sorry to interrupt, Paulson. My camera just died. I don't know why, but it did. So you can't see me anymore, but I'm still here.
Do you want to try replugging or jumping
No,
back in
the
Zoom?
battery's dead. This is all it had. I'm so sorry.
All good, all good. If you want to jump in on your phone, you can. But either way,
That's a good idea.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Fahad, go ahead with your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, we hear you.
We don't
Hi,
see
Doc.
you, but we hear
You
you.
don't. I'm lounging, that's why I'm on my phone.
Okay.
First off, I was going to say it's a great presentation that you put together. I only heard of Go High Level a few days ago, so I'm pretty new to everything. My question is, so when it comes to your pricing plans, have you ever experimented with giving customers a free trial period? And if you did, how did that go down? And what are your thoughts on that?
I do no free trials. No, luckily High Level gives you all a free trial, but
Let's give him a second. Fahad, I can tell you a little bit about it. Most agencies today, they don't do a free trial, just because it's too much work, too much pressure, and you're not running in like High Level, where we're dealing with thousands and thousands of trials that are coming in through a customer success team, then they go through a sales development team, then they go through a customer support team. They're going through like a bigger experience in the trial phase. So massive software companies do that, but at y'all's level, I don't recommend it.
no.
I wish it wasn't even available in the SaaS configurator, but we had to have it there based on what people wanted.
Okay.
How's my audio now? Is it better?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we're getting your audio from the computer and video from your phone.
Okay, great. I
we're
just want to
good.
make sure you weren't getting bad feedback.
Yeah.
I agree with everything Paulson said. No free trials. Betas can get a discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go with the next question. Abigail, let me bring you.
Yes, Paulson, I missed yesterday's training. So how do I get the link to watch yesterday's training?
Yeah, it's going to be in the YouTube channel. Okay. So I would say wait for that. Our production team is working on putting all that up in the YouTube channel. But if you want to go to the Facebook group, are you in the Facebook group right now?
I have it opened in addition to my Zoom.
Yeah, so go to the announcements. Under announcements, you'll see a subject title that says Day 1, Road to 100 SaaS Clients with Dar Holdsworth. And that itself is a replay. So if you wanted to bigger edited one that you want to save time and fast forward and things like that, you would have to wait for the YouTube channel one.
Okay. So my question real quick, Dal, is on the strategic partnership. What do you deliver to them that produces results right away? I don't know if that was discussed yesterday.
Yeah, well, it depends on what they need. It really depends on the niche.
Okay.
For example, if they don't need appointment setting and they don't need appointment reminders, I wouldn't do that. But if it was, a business like chiropractic where they live on appointment reminders, I would make sure that I show them how they can set appointments and have automated reminders. If they need reviews, I make sure and give them, great reviews. It depends on what your niche needs.
So my niche is physical therapist, which is close to chiropractors.
Sure.
But what I find out is most of the organizations, if you are not a physical therapist, you can't even join like that. They would allow you for the annual conference to be in the general place. Yeah, you can't go everywhere.
Right.
So, and I do have competitors that were physical therapists, but left their practice and they are now marketers. So how do I position myself for this strategic partnership in this niche?
I'm not sure I have an answer for you on that because I don't know your niche, right? I would ask
I said
around.
physical therapy. No,
I'm saying is
okay.
I don't have knowledge of how your niche works. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So it took me a while to figure out how I was going to interact with the chiropractors. It takes contacting people.
PT.
Yeah, you gotta contact people and talk to them, and every no is your next closer answer to a yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend. So my wife is actually an occupational therapist. I have family members who are all therapists as well. I can tell you it's very easy to build a relationship with that industry. It might make sense for you to just bring on a business partner who essentially becomes an affiliate and they go represent you in those conferences, and you don't have to go get a doctorate degree done. But I would say talk to the industry and get creative. You're going to come across these things, right? Like if you're working with veterans, you have to be a veteran to get into those groups. Like if you're working with accountants and CPAs, you have to have those licenses, and those are industry specific organizations. But there are still generalized areas and conferences that you could go to that provide industry knowledge and things like that. That is open to the public that anybody can go to as well. Yep. You just have to do your research.
So
your question. Sorry.
No, you're suggesting so I just maybe look for a friend or somebody who is a physical therapist to let me into those.
That's where I would start. That's the person I would talk to and what they recommend for you to go into the industry in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
you're welcome.
Let's go with Chris. Chris, I don't have your last name. Let me see which Chris this is. Chris disappeared on me. Well, let me see. Okay, let's go with Jenna Leadingham. Hey, Jenna. So we're gonna keep the questions going for a little bit. If we can go fast, that'll be awesome. And we got to just rapid fire. Okay. So one question, Jenna, if you don't mind, and you can jump on a strategy session with Dar later if you signed up. But Jenna, go ahead.
So my quick question was, do you charge like an onboarding fee, and how involved in the onboarding are you, like setting up their workflows and their triggers, automation? So that's kind of like, I'm right in the middle of creating my new offers, and I've onboarded a couple people now, but I'm kind of just trying to figure out, I guess, the onboarding fee and how much of it I should handle versus.
Yeah, we're going to talk all about that tomorrow.
To them.
We're going to talk all about that tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yep, tomorrow's onboarding. Okay. We're going to talk about that, but just in general, yes, there's onboarding fee. It's there for you to use at your benefit. And I'll tell you more about that later, whether you offer people discounts off of that or we use it to, cover some costs.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's probably one of my biggest questions right now.
Okay. Be sure and show up tomorrow because
Yeah.
we'll get all those questions answered.
Let's go with Sam B with your question. Hey, Sam.
Hey,
Guys and gals, if you're able to get on camera, that'll be helpful. I know the lights are turned off, but okay, awesome. Hey, Sam. What's your question?
my question is, this might be related to tomorrow, but with only being like a SaaS agency, are you only working with clients who are running ads, or do you ask them to, or sorry, do you upsell them on the ads too?
You know, the SaaS is a complete separate component. If you want to run ads, great, do it as a separate service. We've chosen not to do that for the first 2 years of the business. Now that we've built trust with several hundred agencies, it's easier for us to go to them, and because I already have that captive audience. And so now I can go to them and say, hey, we now offer ads. But if you're just starting out and you want to add that to your offering, as long as you can deliver and you're good at it, do it. Just don't make it separate than the SaaS. Two
Sam,
different line
no matter how well you run ads, we know that average agency lose their clients in 3 months, no matter what, where SaaS customers stay with you for a couple of years. So why do all the sales effort and marketing to land a client that's going to cancel on you anyways? And I'm saying this after at least spending $4 to $5 million in ads for customers. And we still have people that cancel no matter what you do.
Do you tend to find the SaaS clients who, the small businesses who do run their own ads tend to stay longer than the ones who
Not
don't?
necessarily.
No, it has nothing to do with
necessarily. Yeah, because some
SaaS
of them,
has nothing to do with ads.
yeah.
SaaS has nothing to do with ads. It's not even in the picture. I don't even consider it.
Think outside of lead generation. Like SaaS is not about lead generation. They need help appointment. They need helps with just messaging. They need helps with missed call text back. They need help with invoicing. They need help with staff scheduling. I've even had a lady who built an inventory system for the US military in Carolina. It's got nothing to do with lead generation, and they're leveraging high level with opportunities board to keep track of inventory. Like think way outside of the way you would think from a marketing agency standpoint.
Gotcha. All right, thank you so much.
You bet.
Okay. Let's go with Micah Carter. Hey, Micah. I'm just going in order. We're gonna run out of time here, Dara.
Hi, it's Mika.
Okay,
No, that's okay. I appreciate it. You guys delivered a lot of value, and it's caused me to kind of rethink my initial way I was approaching this. I'm very much overthinking it. I think I've already probably spent way too much money. And I guess my question is, as an agency owner who is coming into this already using several other platforms, some software, I'm already selling some other software. I'm not going to move my whole business. This is for a specific niche of customers where I'm finding that I'm building a lot of this. And I see an opportunity. I just recently found out about High Level, and I see an opportunity to offer something where I don't have to build all these pieces and connect them. But I'm having trouble kind of seeing the simplest path without spending all the money that I'm currently spending. What's the simplest path to the minimum viable product? I don't see it. I'm having a hard time seeing it because I've got designers, copywriters, website builders, project managers. And I'm just like, I'm hearing you guys talk about this as if it's a much simpler thing than what I'm coming to it understanding. Right. So that's where I'm struggling a little bit, is like, I think I'm trying to take it all the way back to how can I get this moving?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm hearing you say 10 days, and I'm like, I've already been doing this way longer and probably spent a lot more money than you do.
I'll let Dar go first, and I can answer after.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a loaded question for just a quick answer for one. The other thing is, what are you offering now? What High Level does, it allows you to put everything in one software where everything works off of, if you're using a scheduling system, if you're using a workflow system, someone else, you're doing newsletters, someone else, by bringing it all in, you're building websites, host them in High Level, even if it's a WordPress site, host it in High Level,
Right.
because you can create actions off of everything that happens, right? Something in your scheduler, you can create triggers and workflows to act off of that. You can keep up with that in your pipeline. It's just a better place for you to deliver wins and keep up with everything.
I definitely get that. I'm sold on the product, but what I'm not seeing is how do we build, like we're like basically building these SOPs, like how do we take what we have in these other platforms and build a plan to build it in high level and then create the creative for the templates so that when we get a client, we build this all out. I'm just like, it just seems much more complicated in my mind.
That's just more like a coaching question. You would need kind of like an intensive, let's see what you're doing. And then let's build a plan to do that.
Yeah, I would also say, like, a lot of the agencies that have, let's say, 100 or 200 agency clients, and they have a team behind them with graphic designers, copywriters, ad buyers, project managers, account managers, like they have this big infrastructure, right? So they really have a hard time transitioning. And every time that comes across, the first thing I recommend is start net new with a brand new business. Stop trying to convert your agency into a SaaS. Right? Start net new, because the processes you have to load up an ad account and onboard a customer and get them live with leads, like that's not going to be the same as if you launched a SaaS. And that's where people go wrong. Like even Josh Nelson and I had a conversation. I'm like, Josh, you have like 180, 200 plus agency SEO ad buying. Like he has full stack customers that are paying, $5,000-$6,000 on a big, massive package. How do you come in and enter like a $397 offer? It just doesn't make sense. There's no easy path, right? So I always recommend, also Josh recommends as well when I talk to him, is just net new with a brand new customer that you've never worked with. Stop trying to resize your existing customers. That's going to typically go into the wrong expectation. Eventually, what you're going to have is two different service lines that are building without each other, and then you can make a decision which one you want to go all in with, because you'll see the difference in churn rate. You'll see the difference in the amount of support you have to do. And at that point, you can make a bigger executive decision of like, okay, I have this many customers on the agency side. Let's see what the migration plan looks like. But in the launch process, as you're taking off, like I don't recommend anybody converting existing customers over. Start with brand new that you've never worked with, new processes. I wouldn't even use your same team members. Like I would start fresh with a new person who has nothing to do with their agency and start a new pipeline, new service line altogether, and new KPIs and OKRs and all that stuff. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I think for the most part, that's
okay. Awesome. I think that's a great question. It's a big question that hundreds of agencies are answering today. To Dar's point, that's a big coaching question. Like we have.
Yeah, I'll say feel free to reach out to me. I'll see if I can help you.
Yeah. Let's go with Matt Stanley. Hey, Matt, thanks for jumping in.
Hey there. Can you see and hear me okay?
Let's see. Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Hey there. Hey, my question is very technical and very to the point. I have had the 497. I didn't do the 97, 297. I just went straight for the jugular, buy the most expensive freaking thing you can right off the bat. And within basically a week, I closed a 497 a month customer. So they're paying for me to have SaaS, which is awesome. So I'm making no profit, but I'm getting like the world's biggest toy box in the universe for free, which is awesome. Here's the thing. What I don't understand is if I'm paying the 497, do I have the ability to customize my plans however I want? Because when I went into the configurator, it looked like you've got your 3 silos or boxes, and you can't really drag and drop stuff around. It is what it is, and this is what you get.
Yeah,
no, that's not true. You can customize it.
Yeah, you can customize it in multiple ways. You can code against it, like you can do custom coding. And I also think there's add-on packages that we just rolled out where you could customize it. The original SaaS configurator, you couldn't customize too much. It was limited. It was like the podium plan. But Dar can probably speak further on this.
Yeah, you can customize it. And then look, here's another thing for what it's worth. This is here to help you, but you can, how would I describe this? You can put whatever you want to put on your website and attach a product to it that's attached to Stripe, right? So if you know how to use Stripe, you can create as many products as you want, and you can put anything you want on the funnel page. and
Okay.
and sign people up and then give, add or take away permissions.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've been noticing since I first paid for this, I like Paulson said, I'm like, oh my word, every week there's some new awesome thing. And I'm just trying to even learn the baseline, version 2 of everything that I got when I first signed up. And I've just barely even going to scratch the surface. And so it's awesome. I love everything about High Level, and I love how aggressive the development team is. I also feel kind of a constant fire hose of overwhelm because I don't have a team at the moment that can do jack. They don't even know what High Level is. I'm like, well, that's a problem because I certainly don't have time to learn it, but I need to hire a team that has zero on-ramping learning curve time because they can just get her done, and I can charge 3 to 5x my cost and just be done with it and scale based on me not having to learn this stuff. So
I'll add something to this, Matt. Your scenario is very normal in the sense of how high levelers come on board. You come in and you're drinking this water hose of pipeline of so many things, and you feel like you're behind because there's 20,000 agencies and your industry is already tapped into and all these different things. I'll make a recommendation. I've said this multiple times to people. Decide who you're going to be in your business. Be the sales guy or be the tech guy. Don't be both.
Right. Yeah.
That's the decision you have to make first. If you're going to be the sales guy, I'm a sales guy. Like I struggle with the engineering side of all these things. Like I'm not a techie at all. Matter of fact, I don't even like any of it. So what do I do as a sales guy? I'm going to bring on a couple of virtual team members that's going to just build everything out for me that I don't even know how High Level works. I'm just going to pay them $100, $200 to build it out. I'm going to go to DAR, get my snapshots and throw that at them as well. And they're going to set it all up for me. I'm going to have a minimum viable product, and I'm going to just focus on phone calls.
Yeah. I know that's what I want to do because I used to hate sales, and then I paid for some training that's really good. And now I actually really enjoy it because I know I'm helping people. And I know, especially now that I've got this kind of secret weapon that is Go High Level, there's no one on earth that can compete with an agency that's built a business on High Level. It's just, they're going to be playing catch up for the next 30 years. They're never going to catch up ever. So, but I've really been struggling. I've tried over and over and over again to just find someone competent that I know, because I'm selling my whole reputation is on the line here if I can't deliver. I have never been able to find a subcontractor to say, build the funnel, build the website, build the workflows, just do it. I've tried and I can't find
Have
anybody.
you tried the High Level Job Network?
I have tried that, the Facebook group.
Yep.
I've tried that, and just it's been a mixed bag, kind of like going on Upwork, or any of these other type sites, Fiverr, and it's just been a disaster. It has not worked out.
Yeah. So here's what I'll recommend. If I'm interviewing somebody that does high level work, I'm going to ask them to show me references, who you worked with, and I'm going to call those agency owners and interview them. Second thing is I'm going to pay you after the job is done.
Okay.
Right? Because I've heard way too many stories of $20,000 snapshots that's being slanged around, and I get it. And we can't control it, but it happens.
Yeah.
Yes, Dar, there's a few people that charge
$20,000 snapshot. Holy hell.
Single snapshot. Yep. It happens.
That's crazy.
I mean, I get it. They run a pretty intricate, sophisticated business. But Matt, I would suggest stay on the sales side. Don't try to learn high level. Learn how to use it, get somebody else to build it for you so you can stay focused on the sales side. It'll take you several months to catch up to that person that's helping you build high level. And that's okay. Like, that's the verdict because we developed the heck out of this thing on, we can't control it because we're going to continue rolling out new things. I mean, I've already seen Q1 of 2023 and it's more intense than Q4 2022. Right? So there's no end to this train. We're going to keep that going. Catch up as much as you can, learn what's relevant to your industry, make sure you can talk in that love language of sales and go from there.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Hey man, congrats on your customer. Keep it going.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, we had an interesting conversation because she reached out and she said, hey, you've been paying for this $497 for 3 to 5 months and no one can find this on Google. And it was back to your point, if I could just say this real quick, guys, to your point of Paulson of like make mistakes, she says, and I quote, "You promised me that because of this 497, my phone would be reading off the hook with people trying to beat my door down to throw money at my face. And you said that would happen." And it's one of those conversations where just for the sake of relationship, you have to just take it, knowing that she's talking absolute nonsense, that I would never say that because I'm not retarded. I know I didn't say that, but what she heard was what she wanted to hear, not what I said. And so I'm like, all right, well, I guess the sales process, how I use what I say needs to be dialed back a little bit so that she doesn't walk away and no one else walks away with the impression that just because I bought the state-of-the-art tool doesn't mean I'm going to be ranking one on Google. Well, I've been doing web design for 27 years, and I know what the difference is between an awesome website and traffic, and those things are completely unrelated.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
And she has this idea in her head of like, well, I didn't have the 30,000 to build a website, but I had the 497 for a 12-month contract. So why am I not showing on page 1 for keyword phrases? And I'm like, because you never bought an SEO plan.
Hey man, sorry to cut you
It's
off.
not complicated, but just like, you know what? I've got to sell enough other customers so that when this person, if they do at the 12-month contract mark cancels, I'm not screwed, and I have other people, where I'm not just covering the nut, but like I'm making serious profit margins. So this has really been a great experience to go through these couple of days. I'm excited for tomorrow. Thank you guys. I appreciate the value.
You bet. Of course.
Awesome, man. So here's what we're gonna do, Dar. Everybody that's raised your hand, here's what I recommend. Go to the live streaming, put your questions down. Later on tonight, whenever Dar gets a chance or I get a chance, we're going to answer those questions.
Yeah.
We're going to cut off the Q&A right there. Dar, can you share a little bit about what we're going to learn about tomorrow? I know it's jam-packed like today, then we can call it a session.
Also, to answer people's questions who were asking yesterday about people who already have their pro account, but they already want the stuff. I got a chance to really analyze what we were offering and what the pricing would be and how we could help people. This was before I knew that there are $20,000 snapshots. Maybe I should rethink it again tonight. But essentially, we're going to give all this stuff. If you become an affiliate and you use this link to upgrade, you're going to get everything for free, which, I don't know if it's worth 20 grand, but it's worth a lot. You're going to get all that for free. If you already are on someone else's pro account, you're going to get it for just a one-time charge of $397, which will include your first month of coaching. And then the group coaching is just going to be $197 a month afterwards. No contracts, cancel whenever you want. If you don't find value in it, no big deal. But it would just be $197 a month thereafter, only if you're not one of my affiliates. If you're one of my affiliates, it would be free. So there's the link. In fact, this page, this prolificsas.com/affiliates group coaching, it's not even, it's live, but it's hidden. So you can only type that in and get it. You can't go to the website and find it because I'm going to make this a Black Friday event next week. So it'll open up to the world next week, but you all have access to it now before everyone else does. Okay. So for tomorrow, let me see. Sorry, I'm juggling two things here.
Those of you that have the questions in the Q&A inside the Zoom, we're not going to continue the Q&A. Post your questions in the live Facebook streaming and we'll go through that again, okay?
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk about efficient automated onboarding because you want people to have wins and feel good right off, right out of the bat. And most people are going to cancel. If they're going to cancel, they're going to do it in the first 24 hours. Buyer's remorse sets in 24 to 48 hours. So you need to do a good job right from the start. We're going to help you do that, do it efficiently, and to teach your customers to fish rather than fish for them. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Trust me, you want them to know how to fish. And then we're going to talk about ongoing customer training and support and checking in with those customers so they really do adopt usage of the program. It becomes an integral part of their business where, again, it's a utility that they do not want to turn off, that they just feel like they need it to run their business. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
All right. Awesome. I appreciate everybody jumping in. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Post your questions that we couldn't get to in the Facebook streaming in the comments, and we'll try our best to get to it. If you need the link to upgrade under DAR, it's gohighlevel.com/upgrade now. And then our team can basically set that up and you'll get all your goodies. I would say give DAR at least a week to spend time with you, schedule all those things. I see a few people that said, hey, I texted, I didn't get my slides. He's going to send them out at the end of the
slides are going to be at the end of the week. Yeah,
Yeah.
end of the week, because I've got to reformat them, and I'm
Okay.
still building out slides for the next 2 days. So I'm going to get
Yeah.
these all built for you, and then you're going to get all the slides.
All
What
right.
was the number for the slides?
It is 405 300 something. You may have to check the comments. Sorry, man.
Oh,
405
man.
300.
What is it? Hold on, I'll find it.
Was it the 4471?
4471.
Yes, that's it. 4471. We had set up a new. That's it.
Okay, perfect. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your afternoon, everyone. Take
See
care.
you, everyone. Thank you for spending time with us today.